Accused mushroom murderer Erin Patterson became emotional in the witness box today, wiping away tears as she gave her account of what happened at the fatal lunch and why she faked her cancer diagnosis.
More queues outside court today as people flocked to hear Erin Patterson reveal further details about the deadly mushroom lunch, including revelations about why she made her guests individual Beef Wellingtons.
I couldn't find, the big log that the recipe called for, so I had to use individual steaks.
Patterson appearing emotional as she told the court she may have accidentally added foraged mushrooms to the meal.
I decided to put in the dried mushrooms that I'd bought from the grocer that I still had in the pantry. Now I think that there was a possibility that there were foraged ones in there as well.
Admitting she was aware that there were death cap mushrooms growing locally but didn't forage them.
Did you ever forage for mushrooms in Lock?
No.
Did you ever forage for mushrooms in Outram?
No.
Patterson became worried she'd be blamed for the poisoning following questions from her estranged husband Simon. Questions he testified he never asked.
He said to me, "Is that how you poisoned my parents, using that dehydrator?" I said, "Of course not."
Telling the court she then decided to dispose of the dehydrator.
I took the dehydrator to the tip. I thought there might be evidence of that, evidence of any foraged mushrooms in there.
Patterson also explaining why she carried out a factory reset of one of her phones after it was seized by police. Erin Patterson has pleaded not guilty to all charges.
Erin Patterson is the Age's crime and justice reporter. She was in the court in Morwell once again today. Erin, let's start with that factory reset of Erin's phone. What is going on there?
We had over 5 hours of evidence today from Erin Patterson in her third day in the witness box, and there was a lot of questions about the electronic devices that she owned in 2023. And as you mentioned, there was one in particular that the jury have heard was factory reset a number of times, and those were the questions that were put to Erin Patterson today. She said a couple of those factory resets were things that she'd done herself. She maintained that her phone was damaged and she wanted to change it over around the time of the lunch or soon after, and she started to do that. But around the time of the lunch, she told the jury, yes, she did factory reset the phone that she used. She said this was because she feared that police might uncover a Google email account that had photographs in it. And those photographs, she told the jury, were of mushrooms dehydrating at her property. And she didn't want the police to be able to find those. So that was the first factory reset that she said that she did. After police seized that phone from her property, that evening she said she jumped onto the Find My Phone application to see where her devices were, and she wondered if the police would be silly enough to have left the one that they took from her house connected. So she clicked on it and was able to factory reset it again. She said that was silly of her to do so, but it is something she's admitted to doing.
A lot of ground was covered today, Erin. We also heard that Erin Patterson vomited shortly after the deadly lunch. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, a lot of the questioning as well today was surrounding the lunch itself. This is the reason why she's here and why everybody is here to hear her evidence, essentially. And we were told that she planned this lunch because she enjoyed spending time with her in-laws. And after eating the meal and cooking the meal and everybody had left, she explained that there was an orange cake that had been left behind by one of her lunch guests. About 3/4 of it, she estimated, was left over. And she said she had a slice, and then she had another slice and another slice until the entire cake was gone. It was then she started to feel a little bit unwell, a bit full, like she'd eaten too much, and she went and vomited up what she'd eaten that day. This was amid what she was explaining was a battle that she was having with her self-esteem, her eating habits and alike. But yeah, that was her evidence in terms of what happened shortly after the lunch.
She also spoke about why she lied about her cancer diagnosis. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, her health history again came up in evidence, and she was explaining that in the lead up to the lunch there'd been these text messages between her and her in-laws. Gail Patterson in particular had been querying what was happening with some medical appointments Erin Patterson had shared was happening. Now, she's admitted now that those medical appointments actually didn't happen, but she maintained that she was sitting at the table, the kitchen table, at her property after the lunch when she raised with the guests that she had cancer. She said that at that moment she had really enjoyed the support that she'd been feeling from the family when she'd raised medical issues with them in the past, and continued that lie because she wanted to conceal what she said was upcoming planned weight loss surgery, something that she had an appointment for in September 2023.
Erin, I'm going to put this as delicately as I can because Erin Patterson spoke of defecating in a bush after the lunch. Just how did that come up?
We've heard a lot of evidence today about Erin Patterson's bowel movements in the days, weeks, hours after the lunch. One of those occasions she explained to the jury was the day after the lunch. She jumped in her car, she was taking her son to a flying lesson and she'd taken some tablets that she hoped would stop her needing to go to the bathroom. But while driving there, she recalled a stop on the side of the road where she jumped behind a bush and had to relieve herself. The reason this came up in questioning today, again, was she explained that she used tissues to clean herself up, put them in a doggy poo bag, popped them in her purse. And it was a next stop at a BP in Caldermead, which was captured on CCTV, where she says she ducked into the bathroom and popped them in the bin before jumping back in the car and continuing on with her journey.
We might leave it there, Erin. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.